Welcome back. Today we're going to be sticking with our Russian deck and our tarot deck, and we're going to, well, we're going to be using this particular oracle deck. I think you can figure out what it says, but they are sassy affirmations, we'll just put it that way. So we're going to see what's going to be going on for the collective for this coming week. I think we're going to do maybe Sundays as like what's coming down the pipe for this week ahead. Because I think at this point, most of us are just taking a week at a time. Or a day at a time. An hour at a time. Whatever you need to do, it's definitely, I can't look too far down the road because it does get overwhelming at times. All right. So this is actually the second edition. There's another deck of affirmations that came before this. That's still the listen ma'am person. Again, gender neutral here. Just like, hey, listen. Sassy listen. So there was one before this. I just happened to get the second edition of this particular deck because it was on sale. So that's how that happened. So I don't have the first one. I just have the second one. But they are still delightful. Ooh, all right, we're seeing this one. So let's see. What is your affirmation? It says, listen, your mental health needs a workout too. Ooh, okay. So hey, I don't want to get docked by YouTube, but you can figure it out. Listen, your mental health needs a workout too. Okay. So yeah, check in with yourself mentally this week. This week might be some... We're gonna dive in, but I feel like this is gonna be our vibe. So while we lay out the grid, I'm gonna stick this over here. I'm gonna shuffle these really quick. I realized I didn't do that on the last video. I shuffled them off screen. I know some people like to see me shuffle them. I don't know. We're figuring this out as we go, okay? We are. All right, I'm going to set these to this side as well because the grid takes a lot of room. So this, again, is my Russian deck. It's a square deck that's laid out in a grid, and you flip and match the pictures as they line up. And I also read with runes. And I use them kind of as place markers so I don't lose any of like the pictures on the grid because there's a lot of them. And each picture has like 4 different directions they sit in. So I do reference the book just because that's a lot. I cannot math, but it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. And it's more fun to shuffle them this way. It's kind of a cumbersome deck to try to shuffle it by flipping the cards in on each other. But yes, this is a Russian fortune-telling deck. So this is the way I learned how to do it. I don't know if other people use this deck or this method. I don't know. Let me know if you've ever seen this deck or heard of it. I personally haven't come across it on YouTube. I don't know why. It's very well worn. All right, so let's give it a quick... This is really the best way to shuffle it as I do it. Like I'm 5 years old, and then like an adult, kind of. All right. So yeah, let me start. Let's make sure that's in frame. And that's why the camera has to be so far back, is because it'll take up this entire area. And that's why I have a second camera, making sure everything's working on the computer. Okay. So as we lay out the cards, I do tend to pause to try to match as I go. Some people don't. I think there's probably people out there that just do it all at once in the end. I don't know. I like to match as I go. Oh, we've got one up here. We have a bridge. All right. So we're going to... Ooh, all right. With Ewas. Oh, and that one lined up on its own. Nope, hold on. Sorry, I had to take a moment. All right. I'm very sniffly. Allergies have been horrific. All right, so we found our mice here. They lined up just on their own, which is always fun. And we pulled a Celtic rune, and this is the one. I'm still learning these. Inspiration and intuition. Ooh, okay, with the mice. I do know that the mice set, like, again, each position, depending on where they're sitting, has a very specific meaning, but there's also a general meaning for each of the pictures. So the mice tend to be like a loss or finding of a material item. And with the bridge, we had the bridge here. Okay, let's see. Oh, wow. Okay, money lined up is right off the bat. And money's general meaning for money picture is, you guessed it, money. No, we have Tiwas. Okay. Ooh, got a lot coming out today to kind of lead in here. Sometimes, like last week, we did this. There was only 3 pictures, and we already have 4. So they're going to be real chatty today. Ooh, okay, we have the Fox and Isa. Okay. So already, could be a lot happening in the front of this week. We're going to see how the rest of the grid pans out. But if there's sometimes like there's a lot of pictures in one particular area. And just as, you know, timing with any kind of divination, like take it with a grain of salt. But I do feel like this could be saying that there could be a lot happening like in the front end of the week. So let's see what this is about. No, none there. Nope. And if you, I'm bumping my elbow on stuff. If you see something that might line up, I sometimes do miss them, but I'm usually pretty good at finding it. Even if I'm in the middle of a read, I'll catch it. And I will timestamp like when the read starts in case you want to skip this bit. I like laying them out. I think this is the fun part. And my elbows are knocking into everything. Let's see. Nope. Oh, we have a kitty cat. We have the black cat. I'm gonna grab. Ooh. Right though. And now dog's barking. Okay, let's see. Nope. Where's the hand? Nope, that's over there. And sometimes like the pictures can be really close, like 12. This is the birds, and then the branches are very close as like their picture, but the numbers are different because there's numbers in each of the corners. So just to double check, you can always look there. Is helpful. We out of frame a little bit. Our camera might be sliding. All right, give me a sec. I'll be right back. Let me push these up. Okay, we're back. And as I was pushing up, I saw that we had the owl. So that's, again, it sometimes takes me a minute. So hopefully nobody was screaming at the screen like, oh my God, there's the owl. So I'm very chatty. All right, we have Kanaz. Lots and lots of messages coming through here. All right, so let's get the last row. And then I'll always take a minute and I'll cut it out. Kind of just staring at it, trying to find more pictures. Ooh, am I going to sneeze? God, allergies have been horrific. I'm so sorry for the sniffles. If you all keep hearing those. And I'm sorry, my cat is being a cat. So we're just very sniffly right now. Ooh! All right, we got the clover. Always good to get. The clover is, for its, you know, general imagery, is luck. So that's always good. Ooh! All right, we got a Celtic rune. This one's for insight and vision. Okay, and then we have our last card. Ooh, we have this one. So when you have the last card and it lines up, this one lined up with bread. I'll read both of these, the bread in this position, and then also the general meaning. Kind of goes with both. Ooh, okay. So the last card, you know what? I'm going to put, okay. So we have, wait, Thorizaz? Yes. Okay. It took me a second. I'm like, that's the thorn. Thorizaz. So Thorizaz for the bread in this position. And then the Celtic rune, this one, which is beginnings and epiphany. That one we're going to read for all of the upright separately down here. Okay. So I'm going to take a minute and stare deeply into this and see if I missed any pictures, and I'll be right back. Okay. We are back. I think we got everything. Okay. Squeaky chair. All right, so we are done with our runes. Let's get our book. Because again, these have a lot of meanings, so I just referenced the book. Confirmation bird. Whee! Okay, so let's start at the top. Oh, my allergies are kicking my butt. Okay, so 46, the bridge. With Ewas. Okay. So the bridge by itself is the symbol for deliberate change. In this position to the left, yes, I'm dyslexic, so I have to really concentrate on that. The message here, this is an older book. You can tell it was published like either in the early 90s or the 80s. It says, no matter where you go, the past will pursue you, which sounds so ominous, but we also have Ewas here, which is the rune of like teamwork, of steady progress. So I think it's saying that, I'm gonna have to kind of look a little further and see how this goes, because I don't think that's the particular. I think there's room for interpretation, to say the least. Because I always see that picture and I think of like, oh, we'll cross that bridge. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it, like that phrase. And it could be that now it's time to cross the bridge. And that actually would make sense with the position it's in, because it's like something you've been putting off. It says, what? The past will pursue you. So it's like if you've been putting something off and putting something off and putting something off, now might be the time where you can't put it off anymore. Like, you have to make that decision. You have to go forward with that. All right, so let's go to mice 23. Come in. Mice. So mice is, again, the symbol for loss or finding of a material article. And it's a very sudden energy. So it's something, it's not like long and kind of drawn out. It's something that is going to come along and also leave pretty quickly. So this is in the same position to the left. And in this position, it does mean a loss or a theft of some kind. Let's see. Inspiration and intuition. I'm still learning the Celtic runes, so I have the meanings written on the back. We learn somehow. Some people have flashcards. I do this. Okay. I'm just being drawn to the money, Tiwas, and then we have Isa with the fox. I'm getting the sense that at the beginning of this week, there could be something dealing financially that there is a loss of some kind. Because the fox has a lot of different meanings and a lot of different decks and a lot of different disciplines. In this deck, the fox typically symbolizes deceit. So there could be someone or a situation that's not being very truthful with you right now. That could result in a loss of financial means. However, the runes are also telling me like not a warning, but like you can lessen this or help avoid it. Like Tiwaz is like the spiritual warrior. It's a discipline and it's a sacrifice. And Isa is the rune of stillness, of being still. So there could be a moment where, again, this rune was about intuition with the theft. If you come across something or a situation or a person or anything that feels a little off, listen to that. Get still. Get still. Take a moment. And with Tiwaz, oh my goodness, brain. With Tiwaz here and the spiritual warrior, you may have to set a very, very firm boundary. That could also relate, again, we had the bridge here of like, oh, cross that bridge. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Now could be time that you have to cross the bridge and, you know, say like, no, I'm going to stand on this side of the bridge. You can follow me if you want. You can come along. If not, no, I'm not going back. So whatever this is, and I'm so sorry you have to deal with this because this is not, it's not a happy-go-lucky, feel-good kind of vibe, and I'm so sorry for that. But I feel like the cards are giving a heads up of you may be facing a challenge this week. And it may not be even a bad, it's just like something kind of coming, I don't want to say coming to a head or it was a long time coming. But that could also be, I mean, listen to your intuition. Get still. If something feels off, if you feel like, this again. And it could be a thing where instead of saying, oh, this again, and like taking the loss because you don't want to deal with it, it could be time you actually really do have to deal with it. Okay, so we're going to keep going because we do have, I'm super excited. We have a lot of really good stuff happening down here. So in the beginning of the week could be a challenge. Let's go to the owl. It's humid here, so I'm sticking to everything. Ugh. Of course I am. Okay. The owl, again, is a short energy. So again, this could be part of this challenge happening at the beginning of the week. Ooh, okay. So the owl's general symbolism is problems with immediate projects in the, where is this facing? Right. Cunning schemes exposed. Ooh, okay. Again, with this theft happening here. And Kanaz is the rune of, again, there's intuition, like illumination. So something is coming to light. And you have the owl. The owl is a symbol of wisdom. It's a symbol of like, they can see in the dark. They can see through kind of these illusions. So whatever's going on, something's going to be exposed. Something is coming to light. And you may have, I have a feeling it deals with a physical, something in your physical realm, whether it is money or situation, but something again in the physical realm. And you may need to get very still and just, oh, I forgot to read the fox really quick, but okay, let's read the fox and get a little more information. All right, that's 14. Oh, I was already there. Oops. All right, that is facing the fox. A falsity will be revealed in this position, facing, again, these are two facing the same direction. So they're both talking about something is revealed. A deceit is shown. Something is coming to light in the beginning of the week, and it could very much have to deal with a theft of a physical item or money. Something is coming to light, and you may not only have to cross a bridge, you may have to burn it. Like, okay, you know what? I'm going to... Could we get some insight, please, on on the bridge? Like what? Okay, so Four of Pentacles. Okay, and there's... Again, Pentacles is a physical realm. It's money. It's your material items. And this person is kind of clutching their purse very close to their chest. So Queen of Swords at the bottom of the deck. This may be something you have to take a step away from emotionally and look at it very logically. The Queen of Swords is, again, queens are very... Queen is an energy. It's not a gender. You may have to take a step back and look at it objectively. Kind of, I don't want to say detach as in like just, you know, pulling all of your emotion out of it, but just doing that where you take a step back and you just look at it from a larger perspective, objectively. You know, you just breathe and take a moment. Again, this gets still. Excuse me, confirmation burp with the fox. Getting still, you see this figure is kind of up on a mountaintop or up in a high place, just very aloof and gazing in the distance, looking at something from afar. This person, again, also in the Four of Pentacles, is a good ways away from a town or a village here in the background. So it could be you need to kind of take a step back, retreat a bit, and look at it objectively. Okay. Woo. Very, very interesting beginning to the week, to say the least. Oh my goodness. Okay. So let's get some more information about what's going on. So the cat. 41. Ooh. Okay. So the cat is, again, a short energy. Period of influence is what it has in the book. It's a general symbol for hidden danger, and in the upright position means someone will charm you with kindness, which you'll yield to. Again, this was written a while ago. So to kind of translate that, the cat in this position is like someone's kindness is false. Someone who's very charming and very charismatic comes in like, oh, maybe they want to lend you a sympathetic ear or help you out in some way. And it's, again, we had the intuition up here of like, get still, maybe take a step back and be like, you know what? No. Okay. Sorry. I had a brain fart and I had to go look it up. I was like, Rytho, it's a journey. Duh. But it can also be a change, because when this could be a journey in a very metaphysical sense. And this could also be symbolizing like a person that maybe you can't bring with you. Hold on. Let's ask the card. Ask the cards. What's going on with this one? Justice. Ooh, wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah. With justice here. Yeah. There could be a big change coming. And the Three of Swords. Okay, so this is a little bit of a heavier energy in this read. I got the phrase like taken for a ride coming through, and with the Three of Swords, with Justice, with Rytho and the cat, this kind of deceit, but veiled in charm and, you know, a false smile, like there's a mask there that they're hiding something else, they're hiding maybe their true intentions. And it could be as this is brought to light, because again we had, you know, things being revealed, it could be revealed that this was someone that you trusted. The Three of Swords, this heartbreak. And Justice is, you know, I love this card, hold on, the symbolism here of the two reflections and the scales. Like someone is being brought to justice, or a situation is being, again, brought to the light. Something is coming forward where you get to know the truth. And sometimes the truth is really difficult and it hurts. And even if this person had the best of intentions, they've clearly done something that was not okay. And I'm so sorry for that. So this week could be a bit of a challenge, but we have our pocket here. We're not done yet. Not done yet. And again, we're looking at this as these are challenges. I don't like saying, "Oh, this is going to, something horrible." It's like, no, it's a challenge. You can get through it. Again, the kind of advice is like being able to take a step back, hold your boundaries, kind of take a step both maybe physically, but definitely emotionally, taking a step back. All right, so let's look at the clover. The clover is luck. Like that one's usually pretty easy to be like, "Ah, yes, luck." Whoop. Okay, in this position to the dyslexic, right, there we go. Okay, so it says happiness slightly clouded from a misunderstanding. And we have the Celtic rune for insight and vision. So again, this idea of like using your intuition and your insight perhaps to avoid a misunderstanding about this. Like as things perhaps are revealed, taking a step back and instead of jumping to a conclusion, getting all of your facts. Taking a moment to pause, take a step back. Saying that a lot. Wow, okay. That may be just something you need to hear. Yeah, taking a step back, and I had the phrase in my brain. Where did it go? I don't know where it went. It'll come back to me in a minute. Oh my goodness, that's gonna bug me. I had it for a minute. Anyways, okay. We're going to move on. It'll come back if it does. If it doesn't, that's okay. So 50 is actually the last card. So it is 50 cards. Okay, it is 50 cards in the deck. And that's bread, and it is for happiness. And again, this one is facing to the right as well. So it says profit and happiness in the house, success in business affairs. And both of these are kind of, it says like period of influence is middle. So while this I feel is maybe in the beginning of the week or comes up very fast, this could be kind of, I don't want to say the fallout, but maybe the aftermath. And with Thorisaz is an interesting rune because it's also a symbol of a thorn. There's this little, it's a line down and then this little kind of thorn shape. But it's also like a portal. So this could be, again, with the bridge up here, we had like crossing a bridge. So this could be something you have to do, like in order to start a new chapter, in order to move on to something new and better. With your happiness, I think of bread as like people use the metaphor of like, money, basically. So kind of to move forward. So even if there is a loss here, or you discover a loss, or even if it's avoided, the challenge that happens here in the physical realm is something that you can move forward with, because we had luck here. We had luck, we have prosperity here as well. And then, because this is the last card, we're going to read it also in the upright position with our Celtic rune, which is beginnings and epiphany, which is perfect because this could cause or lead to an epiphany where it's like, okay, I'm leaving this behind. This has happened, kind of, I'm going to say wash your hands of it, but kind of like taking a step back and moving on to something else that I feel is going to grow. So let's take a moment to look at these. So I know the boy's general general meaning for its image is adventure, and then we have the rooster, which is like news that will wake you. And we do have the demon picture, which those are the little demons. Think of them like your brain goblins. They're, limiting self-beliefs, basically. So yep, with beginning and epiphany. So I feel like this is a little bit of a cause and effect. So I'm gonna pull some cards to get any more advice. Like, oh, I remember now, for the clover, we were talking about again how the result or the aftermath of what's happening up here and kind of in the beginning of the week, and then later on, like taking a moment to step back and not react to the situation, but respond to the situation. Going into the energy of the Queen of Swords, again, gender neutral, of kind of taking a step back from the emotional hurt and be like, okay, how do I respond to this with justice? If you have to use like very, like, I don't want to say clean, but without emotion. There's the word there. It'll come to my brain at some time later. But taking the emotion out of your words and using like what I call lawyer speak. Very firm, very like, nope, this is it. This is the boundary. This is what's going to happen from here. And again, there's a lot of, I feel energy of like setting a boundary, crossing that bridge and being like, no, no more. And moving forward with it as something again comes to light. So the interesting thing with 13, I'm going to double check. But 13 is the boy and it's adventure. And in the upright, because again, if it's the last card, we're going to read them all in upright, is travel in the near future. So this could cause, like, again, part of that moving on could be like physically moving on or even just emotionally, like metaphorically moving on. All right, so 48. This is just interesting deck. Rooster, news that wakes you. That's it. And it's good news. If you're again, we're reading these all in the upright. So good news, adventure. So again, I feel like something. Oh, it's literally the one before it. Yeah, subconscious negative thoughts. And in the upright, it's don't listen to the cunning whispers wishing to hurt you, which is like don't listen to, the doubt. Don't listen to fear. Don't listen to those, I call them the brain goblins. Like, don't listen to them. Yeah, so I love that the last card is it's really affirming. It's like no matter what happens up here at the beginning of the week, things are going to come to light. You are going to handle it. And you will be able to move on. It's just, I feel the cards are suggesting, like, perhaps the best way to approach it is, again, taking that moment to step back, pausing, having a little bit of reflection about, what's going on, where you go from here, and then responding instead of just that emotional gut reaction, because it could be, it's like you will move on no matter what, but how you move on is going to be key. So let's get some, again, I apologize for the dogs in the background. I don't know if they pick up, but yeah. Okay, so 10 of Wands. We have the Magician. So yeah, you're moving on from something. The 10 of Wands is like a heavy burden. You're setting down, you're moving on. And we did have that message of travel, that kind of relocation. So it could be something where you just pack up and you're like, no, I'm out. I'm done. And you have the Magician. You have the power to get through this. The Magician is a fantastic card to get because it's a card of manifestation. It's a card of like your power coming through. And the Tower. Yeah, this is going to be something that the Tower is like change that comes no matter what. But how we face that change and how we handle that change, how we respond to that change is going to be key. That is going to definitely be key here. So, and we have the Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck, which I feel is a very lovely message of aces are like very much a new beginning, and to go from like the Three of Swords with the heart here, kind of not in a good spot, very hurt, and just being like, you know what, I'm going to move on, I'm going to heal, having that emotional healing and having something new, just moving on to something new. So yeah, that I feel is the message coming through. So let me know if any of this resonated with you. If you, even if you're just like curious about the Russian deck with the grid deck, if you will, and how it lays out. Again, I'm sorry for the sniffles. Um, yeah, let me know. Whatever you're willing to talk about, because I'm never going to be like, you have to tell me everything. Like, no, no, no. But, this is a rough time. So if you are going through something rough, know that you are not alone. You can get through this. The cards are just saying that the best results could be taking a moment to consider how to respond to what happens instead of reacting. So I'm sending you big hugs because that's a lot. That is a lot. This was definitely a heavier read, but I hope it gives you hope, and I hope it gives you a little bit of a heads up. So if you need to ground, if you need to take, oh, yep, remember our affirmation card, your mental health needs a workout too. Your mental health. Take care of yourself. Definitely take care of yourself. Ground. If you need a self-care day, by all means do that as well. So that is a wonderful tie-in back to the affirmation card from the beginning. I can talk. It's fine. All right, so thank you so much. If you were here for the whole read. Yeah, I'm absolutely terrible at outros. But I really do appreciate. We're going to try to get a schedule together for posting long format shorts and then some behind the scenes stuff as well. So look forward to that. I'll be posting here and I will give you all updates as they come. So have a safe week. Again, take care of yourself and know that you are not alone in this and you will get through it. Okay? So until next time, I'll see you then. Okay? Take care of yourselves. Bye.